You are now listening to Crypto Files. If this is your first time on the channel, I welcome you. If you end up liking the content, hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, don't take any of my content as financial advice. It is only for entertainment purposes, so don't go trading any of your crypto or NFT assets based on my content. Let's get to it because this is big news. Polkadot's Parachain auctions ended for the second week today, and Moonbeam Network is the winner for the second auction. No surprise there. We knew they were leading the charge in the charts, counting the amount of dots being contributed. They were on the top of the list, right behind Alcala, and they'll be joining Alcala when they get onboarded on December the 18th. So a huge congratulations to the Moonbeam team. And they went ahead and tweeted this out, that they went ahead and won with over 35 million dots contributed from over 200,000 contributors worldwide. Now, I do want to point out that they did not allow the United States to participate in this crowd lending campaign. I wasn't able to. This is the project that I wanted to participate in the most, so I think this number was suppressed. 200,000, maybe it would have been, I don't know, double. Who knows if they would have allowed the US to participate. So very cool. I'm happy for them, and they went ahead and sent out a thank you to everyone by increasing the reward pool by 50% to a total of 150 million glimmers. So very cool. That is a reminder. Not even a reminder. I think this is the first time, obviously, that I've seen a project win a slot and they've gone ahead and increased the reward. So that's something to keep in mind. I hope, everybody's grateful and they keep just giving out rewards, give more and more. So that's very cool. So so they were tweeting it out. They were very happy. Over 200,000 contributors. That is amazing. And this is one heck of a project. Let's take a look at Moonbeam. The future is multi-chain. I've said that before and I didn't realize that that's what Moonbeam has on their website, but that is just the truth, right? We're seeing these projects jump on Polkadot's ecosystem, and the expansion of working with so many other chains easily. It just seems to be a theme right across the board. We see it with Clover, we see it with Alcala, we see it with Moonbeam. So working with multi-chains and multi-chain wallets is the way to go for the future. Something that nobody's really focusing on mainstream media. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and that's pretty much it. Cardano maybe. But what happens with Polkadot? Big news. So expand to new chains powered by Moonbeam and Ethereum compatible smart contract parachain on Polkadot. And that's what I'm seeing, that everybody's inheriting the Ethereum ecosystem. So anything that was built in the Ethereum ecosystem and runs on the Ethereum blockchain can easily jump onto chains like Moonbeam. That is the big deal here. So there's no need for you to rewrite or reconfigure your smart contracts. They'll work right away. That is so key. That's like if you bought an old console, that old console, as games came out, became slower and slower. You weren't able to play the game, and they come up with a new console and it has backward compatibility and it's fast, it works well, and it's stable, and it can scale, and you can actually make an even bigger game and take advantage of the infrastructure and the hardware. Well, that's what's happening with Polkadot. They are able to bring in anything that you wrote in a smart contract that is meant to run on the Ethereum blockchain, and you can run it on the Moonbeam chain. Can barely talk. Tools you already use. So obviously, because you are bringing in, smart contracts that were written for the Ethereum ecosystem, you are also able to use some of the tools that were used. Use the Ethereum based tools you love, like MetaMask, Remix, Hardhat, Waffle, and Truffle, right? And it does have pre-built integrations, so built-in integrations for assets like DOT and ERC20s, and infrastructure services like Chainlink and the Graph. It's all coming together, and this is just the beginning. They just won the slot, but because they have the technology to have pre-built integrations with other chains and use other blockchains such as the Graph to pull data from other chains, they have Chainlink being integrated for smart contracts to update data as they're off the chain. This is gonna be good for projects in the future. We are barely scratching the surface with blockchain technology. Imagine that the internet just came out and everybody's starting to use the the email service. but later we'll see applications on the phone and whatnot. In the beginning, in the 90s, I remember when nothing really ever worked out of the box and everything was a hassle, right? That's kind of how it is right now with blockchain technology. Everything's kind of a hassle, and you have high gas fees, and this might not work on this chain and might not work on that chain. I remember buying games as a kid, and I had to check the minimum requirements for the minimum amount of megahertz to run the game. That is going to be a thing of the past with blockchains, as well as we have pre-built integrations with chains such as Moonbeam. You can go ahead and run things that were written for the Ethereum ecosystem. So familiar smart contract languages, obviously Solidity. You can also run Viper and anything that compiles in EVM bytecode. If you're not familiar with EVM bytecode, you program the smart contract in a programming language. In this case, let's say it's Solidity. And then what ends up happening is that gets compiled and it turns into pretty much machine language, which is just bytecode, and the EVM reads it. So imagine the EVM is kind of like an operating system, and it knows how to read that bytecode and then it executes whatever you wrote. And so Solidity is what we understand as programmers to write, and then it gets transformed or compiled, gets compiled into bytecode, and then the machine reads it in bytecode. That's what it's talking about. So you can write it in Solidity, Viper, and anything that compiles in EVM. So that's huge because there's obviously support for more than 2 smart contract languages. So very, very cool. This is a huge pitch. I cannot stress this enough. Pretty much you can inherit a lot of what Ethereum has going for it because it has that compatibility against Solidity smart contracts. Redeploy them. Redeploy your existing smart contracts to a Polkadot environment without the need to refactor or rewrite. Isn't that cool? So if you wrote something maybe 2 years ago, done deal. Very, very cool. This is something I'm looking into at the moment. I think this will also be a big deal in the future. I don't quite understand it too much right now, but H160 accounts, NEC, DSA signatures, interact with Moonbeam using your existing Ethereum accounts and keys. I think this will have to do with your identity on the blockchains. So as you sign for transactions, just like you would on, when you buy like an NFT and then your wallet opens up and you sign and approve it. I think that's what it's talking about, but I don't want to get too much into it because, to be honest, I need to do a lot of research on the technicals. But I think that's what it's talking about on that corner. Don't take my word for it. And then publish, subscribe capabilities. This caught my eye. I went ahead and highlighted it. It has the ability to subscribe to contract events and updates about on-chain transactions, balances, and more. I thought that was super cool because it almost reminds me of what the bank does, right? If you have a transaction, you might get a notification that your debit card was used. Maybe you used it at the store, and you get like an SMS push notification saying, oh, you know what? You went ahead and spent $10, and then it shows a merchant. Kind of like that. I thought this was very good because sometimes when I am selling an NFT, I don't know what happens if it's sold or not. I don't know if it happened like the night before. So I'll log on to the computer, I'll check my wallet. That's the first thing I do to see if that NFT was sold. So this might be something cool in a way where you can maybe send a notification if a transaction occurs or any updates about on-chain transactions. Very, very cool. Complete set of Web3 RPC endpoints, connect existing tools and dApps dApp front ends to Moonbeam, just like you would to Ethereum. So Web 3.0, there's a lot of apps out there and dApps that are being built. You obviously need a front end user interface that can connect with the blockchain and communicate with it and pull data using Web3.js. I think that's what it's talking about. There's not much info there. So very, very, very cool. There's a ton of partners with Moonbeam. We see Chainlink, all sorts of partners listed here. A lot of companies do this. They'll go ahead and just list a bunch of partners that they have and a bunch of logos. Some I recognize, some I don't. I have to take a look in regards to what that is. But the Glimmer token is the native token, and that's what powers these smart contracts on the Moonbeam chain. And this is really, really good because remember, if you bring something over from Ethereum, remember, to pay for the transactions you have to pay gas fees, and you're ultimately paying for Ethereum gas fees in Ethereum. Now if you brought over a dApp that was meant for the blockchain, the Ethereum chain, you wouldn't be paying in Ethereum, you'd be paying in Glimmer. So the Glimmer is the one that powers the chain, and that is the token, the native token, obviously for smart contract executions. As you can see here, it also is used for transaction fees. You can also stake it, so you can nominate collators using Glimmer. Man, I can't even talk. It must be because it's Thanksgiving. But using the Glimmer token and help support the liveness of the network. Governance, participate in on-chain Glimmer weighted voting and governance. Very, very cool. I mean, this is almost a dead given with every single blockchain. If you're a holder of a coin, you can always participate in voting and governance and decisions that are made for that, you know, chain or that game, that NFT game or whatnot. I'm loving this. I keep seeing it with pretty much every project. So let's keep it going. Here's their timeline. Just a quick update. You can see that they started the project last year, last year of January. So the project started all the way up to launch Moonbeam on Polkadot. And they say it requires a team to secure one of the first 5 Parachain slots via the Moonbeam crowd loan. Well, guess what? They did it today. Congratulations. So that can be checked off, and I'm excited to see what the next timeline and progression of the project roadmap will be. You can join the ecosystem, obviously, with your projects. I think that would be the best for me. I'm currently studying how to develop things on the blockchain, so I'm very, very excited about that. And last but not least, I encourage you so much to check out the community project page. There is a ton of projects that I think people are sleeping on. I will be covering some of these in my YouTube channel that are currently being built and I have not seen on other chains. And we're about to see, in my opinion, Polkadot just be on fire as they continue to complete these Parachain auctions. So tell me what you think. Did you participate in the Moonbeam Parachain auction? And I'm happy for you if you got, you know, those rewards. I'm very jealous. This is a coin that I wanted, but it looks like I'm gonna have to just go ahead and purchase it. I hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving if you're living in the USA. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the button. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Also, I did get my Discord account back. It's re-enabled. So there's a link in the description to the Discord channel. If you want to come talk crypto, hang out and grow the community, you're more than welcome to. And if you want to support the channel, I am part of the Brave Rewards program. All right, so y'all have a good one, and congratulations to the Moonbeam Network team.